Hello, tubers. How are you doing today? Well, I hope you're having a good day, getting closer to God, praying the rosary, and following God's ways, because Yahweh is the best way. Today, today I wanted to focus on the importance of us as Catholics, Christians, to get closer to God, the importance of us getting closer to God. Why do I say that? Because there's a lot of talking heads out there that are trying to mislead us, mislead society, because they're trying to manipulate us and brainwash us so that we do what they want us to do. So, for example, in my case, I've been praying the rosary now, I don't know, 6, 7 years, I forget exactly. And and I've mentioned this in various videos, but as you keep on praying the rosary, you become more divine and you get grace bestowed on you. And you don't have to believe it, but that's what I believe in. And the reason why I believe it is because I sense it. And the reason why I'm referring up to this is because as I become more and more divine, more spiritually connected to God the Father, Jesus, um, it it gives me the ability of discernment. And in these times, one mistake can be very, very harmful to you. It can affect your health. It can affect your finances and whatnot, your loved ones and things of this nature. So I always start my videos on saying, YouTubers, how are you today? Getting closer to God, following His ways. And the reason why I'm saying following God's ways and getting closer to God is because at these times we are in treacherous times and we're being misled. So if you're closer to God, you're gonna be like one step ahead of most people, 2 steps, 3 steps, right? You're gonna be ahead of the curve, and you're not gonna fall in these traps that there are traps being set. Might not believe that, but there are traps being set. And I don't want to be talking about specific things because I don't want this to become a political channel. I want for it to stay as a religious channel, a channel that you can turn to and be inspired and get closer to God. I don't want to talk about politics. I mean, if you want to hear about politics, there's a million channels you can get involved in and listen to all the politics you want. I want to uplift and I want to warn. And I want you guys to, at the end of the day or in your life, to go to God in heaven and be blissful and in peace for eternity. That's the objective of this particular channel. By following God's ways, Our Lady matters. You can tap into the Rosary and have and get the 15 promises that our Blessed Mother promises us, and she will help you through our Lord Jesus Christ. So, what I'm trying to say or convey to everybody through this video is get closer to God. There's a lot of mines in the minefield. We are being bombarded by misinformation. And by getting closer to God, you're going to have divinity bestowed on you, and you're going to get the virtue of discernment, being able to discern right from wrong. You're going to have God, Jesus Christ, the Blessed Mary, bestowing graces on you so that you follow the right path and you don't get blown up, stepping on a mine. So luckily, I've been praying the rosary for the longest time, following God ways, going to church. I go to church through the internet, and I watch the mass each week. And hey, I'm not perfect. I'm not even close to being. I'm not even close to being perfect, but I'm doing, pretty much the best I can. Of course, there's always room for improvement, and I try to catch myself because one of the things that I don't do, being quite frank, is I don't I'm not charitable enough. I'm supposed to give 10% to God, and I don't. So I just don't. I fall short. And one of the reasons, and I've talked about this in other videos, one of the reasons why you're supposed to give 10% is to have faith. Faith, faith. What's your faith? Do you believe in God? God says, give me 10%, the first 10%. And he doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. But it just shows to God that you are not just thinking about money. That you're saying, okay, God, here's your 10%. Do something well with it. You know, use it for your agenda. And I'll just rely on my 90%. And I know by me giving me you, for me giving you my 10%, you're gonna give me graces and you're gonna watch out for me, and because I'm obedient to you. So I mean, just because there's a story in with Jesus and the rich man, when he went to Jesus, say, how do I get to the heaven? And Jesus said, hey, sell all your stuff and then follow me, and you'll have riches in heaven. And the rich man decided, he just walked away. He didn't want to give away his riches because he was very wealthy. So, and he failed that test. He failed that test. So it's basically, I mean, you look at the 10% as a test. What's your faith? Do you really believe, are you willing to give away 10% and rely on what God will give you? Why did Jesus Christ not give the disciples next to nothing when they did their evangelism? Because he wanted the disciples to rely on Jesus Christ and God. Faith, faith, faith. Elijah and the woman who said that, oh, I don't have anything, in my little bucket, just a little bit of flour and a little bit of oil. And Elijah said, if you feed me, that bucket's never gonna empty. And that's what happened. It never emptied. So it's just, God is, all powerful. We don't understand we think we know it all. We think we know how God works, but God is kind of a little mysterious. Like he said, the last will become first and the first will become last. Like, that doesn't make any sense. How can the last be first and the first be last? If the last are last, then they're last, and the first are first, and they're first. No, how can they? You have to learn these things. You're like, so faith, faith, faith. So please, people, get closer to God. Get closer to God. You have to understand we have these times, and they're very confusing, and a lot of people are falling. But these are the people that are not close to God. So when the devil speaks, they listen to the devil, and they don't have the discernment to understand that this is the devil. This is the devil's words. They can't, and so a lot of people are falling because they think it's the truth or think it's benefiting them, and it's not. It's a trap. And the only way I understand to be able to break out from that plan of the devil is to get closer to God, so that when the devil does speak, you'll say, "Hold on, that's not God. No, no, no." And you'll say, "No, I'm not going to fall into that trap." So the more you pray the rosary, the more you follow God's ways, the more you tap into God's energy. When you get some type of deviant or evil verbiage, messaging, you'll be able to say, "Oh, that's not good. That's not it." You know. Like Spider-Man said, he said, he'd feel like the tingling spider senses, Spider-Man senses. And so you'll get godly senses, and so that you don't fall into the trap. And it's right now it's critical. It's really critical. There are millions and millions and millions of people that have fell into the trap. And unfortunately, sometimes once you're in the trap, you can't get out. and then as much as you want to. It's like hell, right? People don't believe in hell, and once they're in hell, they want to get out, but it's too late. So don't fall into the trap. And the only way that I know that you won't fall in the trap is by getting closer to God. God is not going to mislead you, but we need that discernment to understand who's talking to us. Is this the devil or is this God? So you got to get up to speed. And luckily, I've been praying the rosary for the longest time, and I see it. And I'm not bragging. And I'm not saying I may not fall into a trap. I very well may fall into a trap. But as of now, I have not fallen in the trap. And I'm going to get closer and closer to God. Keep on praying the rosary, because these are times that are, we're getting close to the end of times, I believe. And a lot of people are gonna go on the waste, the bad side. They're gonna get overcome by the devil, and by the time they figure it out, it's gonna be too late, and there's gonna be a lot of suffering, a lot of suffering. So please, people, try to understand and follow what I'm doing, what I'm trying to say to you. It's not going to hurt you to pray the rosary. It's 20 minutes. It's not going to hurt you to read the Bible verses. It's not going to hurt you to go to the church. You can do it online. Follow God's ways. Get closer to God. It's going to be for your well-being, and that you won't suffer. I know it's not going to be easy, but we all have some time in each of our days, and allocating some of the time to God, Jesus Christ, our Holy Family, is well worth it. And I'm speaking by experience. Give it a shot. It's not going to hurt you. If anything, it's going to help you. So, well, that's the video today. I hope you understood it. I hope you liked it. If you did like it, give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And as always, God bless.